Hello, everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Take Back Your Power. This is Lygia, and I'm here to give you your full moon report, basically, your full moon reading, and it's also an eclipse, which is pretty awesome. So at the moment, I don't know if you're feeling this, but the energy is really potent. The full moon is in Scorpio, and it is a really highly emotional sign. So it's definitely something that is really affecting a lot of us. I don't know how you feel, but I know for a fact that I've definitely felt the emotions, the overwhelming emotions, whether it is one extreme to the other, anger, sadness, happiness and joy. It's just been one thing after another. So I'm sure that there's quite a number of us that are feeling this, and it's amplified even more when it comes to having an eclipse. So bear with me. The eclipse is basically at around 11:15, 14 p.m. in Central Time, which is where I'm at this time in the Northern Hemisphere. So it is definitely very potent. We are in the midst of eclipse season, so it definitely will carry through whatever eclipses. We've had a new moon eclipse at the end of April, beginning of May, and between that time and this time, it's almost as though the emotions and energies kind of meld together. So it's really amplifying this time period for emotions. This month of May is also a month of letting go. So it's even that much more at this particular time period. If you've actually had a chance or haven't had a chance to take a look at my 6-month reading from January to June, please have a look on my YouTube channel. I'll put a link below. And yeah, I'll be doing the next 6 months very shortly, so you can take a comparison between the two halves of the year. But know this, that we are in the height of some emotional discharge, amplifying what we have on the inside. So this is also a really good time to check inside, basically whatever it is that's coming up, whether if it's welling, this anger that's welling up. Make sure that it is something that you are feeling, because it's coming up for a reason. If you're feeling it, be mindful of how you let it go. So, in other words, try to see before you let it go to anybody else, then just look in to see where it's coming from. Check in with yourself if you're able to know if you're responding to a particular situation that is just happening spur of the moment. Then it could very well be that your emotions are heightened completely because of the time period. And just watch a little bit of how you respond to it verbally or in your actions. It's just something mindful to do for the other person that you may be saying this to, saying anything to. So anyways, we'll get into the card reading. So basically the first card that we have, once again, I pick the cards, but I don't look at them until we look at them together. So the first card I have through the Moonology deck with Yasmin Boland. I've been drawing from the Moonology decks. She has two of them. There's this first one that she's done and the manifestation deck that I also draw from. So we're using this once again. The first one I have is surrender to the divine full moon. So again, you can't make this stuff up. It is about a full moon, definitely. And we actually have a super moon as well. So that means that the moon is closer to the earth in its distance. So with this, the fact of surrendering to your to the higher power that is around you is pretty much a key aspect at this particular time. If you're able to let go of certain things that have actually cropped up, whether it's an emotional response to a particular situation in the present, or if you're thinking about past events. This is something that humans do a lot. we think about past events, and all of a sudden we have this emotional charge that, or an expression that basically is exactly as you felt it before, or it's even that much more amplified because of the astrological aspects that you're dealing with at this particular time. And what you need to do is let go. And so it's coming up for you to let go. If you have a vision of something that had happened in the past, then or a fear of the future, a fear of something that you may or may not have in the future, then what you want to do is surrender that particular emotion or that fear and or thought that you're wanting or not wanting to a higher power. Send it up to the universe for a transmutation to come back to you in abundance, in something that can occur, a situation that can occur for the best of yourself and for the best of mankind and everyone around you. What we want to do is allow ourselves, and allow is the perfect word for this, allow yourself to just be, to surrender any fears and any things that you have been worried about to the divine. Let it go. Send it out there. If that, use your judgment to see whether or not there's something that you could do about it. If there's something you can do, an action or a thought process that might help to let things go, then by all means do it. But if it turns out it's something that it's out of your hands, then basically let things go into the universe. Let it go so that it's not on your brain anymore. In fact, a great exercise to do at this particular time is write it out. Even writing, using a prompt, say, for example, I am willing to let go of blank, and just start writing and just let it go. Whatever it is that comes from the heart, just let that go. And then you take that and you burn it. And that way you're letting whatever it is that you have that comes straight from the heart that you're ready to let go for at this particular time. You're letting it go completely. And when you burn it, it's not only a visual that actually helps you to let go, but it's also something that you can take that energy from it. And believe me, there is energy in there. Believe me, there's energy. When you write things down, you speak something, you think about it, there's energy there. Let it go. And in that burning of the paper, it is sent into, that energy is sent into the universe for what we call transmutation. So it's like an alchemical process of letting go of this energy, this emotion that you're not needing at this particular time. And you want it to be brought back to you in unconditional love. So I'm going to read from the guidebook, actually, just to give us an opportunity to see different aspects or different take of what I'm seeing here, and we're going to go from there. So as I find it here, just keeping in mind that this particular time period is a very, very powerful time period, and anything that you're feeling is basically something that could be quite amplified, whether it is a particular situation that's happening at this particular time or not. Just looking, I found a full moon eclipse, but not the full moon yet. It's funny because this is the one thing that I always find is difficult is that these particular, when I'm looking for something in particular, I always find that it's always difficult to find it in this book. It's a great card deck, by the way, but it's just hard to find everything. So anyways, here we go. I'm finding it just right now. In fact, I'm not going to put you through this. Surrender to the divine, full moon. The very word climax brings all sorts of ideas and images to mind. Agreed? But it really is the feeling of this card. Life is coming to a head, a point, a conclusion, or a turning point. There may be some kind of change and possibly even some sort of emotional explosion. Tune into your emotions now and see what they're telling you, which is what I was saying. They're very likely close to the surface no matter when in the moon cycle you've pulled this card. Matters will soon conclude, and you'll find out whether or not your wishes are going to come true. The odds are in your favor, as this is a positive card, but you may need to work harder than usual to keep cool as events unfold. Again, keeping your emotions in check before you have an emotional outburst or any type of response to something. Just give yourself a check, find out if that emotion is truly yours, and where it is coming from, and then respond in a kinder way if you're able to. Attuning to the moon, something that you can actually do in meditation. You can say, I am getting the answers I need. Additional meanings for the card, this card that might actually work for you. A wish you made, maybe about to come true. It's a make it or break it time. There could be a sense of madness in the air. Breathe deep and stay calm. And that's exactly what I feel. So just breathing deep, staying calm. You may need to forgive someone to release negative energy. Now, this is something that has come up, and it probably will come up again, is the forgiveness. And it's not just forgiveness of someone else, forgiving yourself. There are many times where you could probably look at yourself and think, whether it was in the past or something that's in just this recent past or whatever the case is, forgive yourself no matter what. There's no point in holding and harboring any type of shame or guilt, because that is a really low energy emotion. And it just keeps you in this lull of well, literally in a particular spot that stops you from being happy for no reason. So try to work from that, work away from that, because there's no point in doing that. What do you want to do? Live your life and being in a particular state that happens to be in the state of shame and guilt? I don't think so. So try to be happy in this case and just forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for this. It's time to let go of the past and move on. So that was one of the parts here. The full moon marks the climax of the lunar cycle, making this card something of a power card. The full moon is often the time when answers are given to questions asked during the new moon. And pulling this card at any time in the lunar cycle suggests answers will be coming your way before too long. So at the moment too, we're actually in Mercury's in retrograde as well. If you follow what that means. Basically, when Mercury's in retrograde, there's a lot that can happen, and it's never had this very positive light, but at the same time, it can be very positive for yourself when the planet is in retrograde, or any planet is in retrograde. There's the sides that you have to deal with, that you kind of have to look at your fears. So it's the dark side of yourself that you have to look at, and that usually tends to come up during full moons as well. That if you're finding that there's a part of you that you could look in the mirror, you're going to say, I don't like it. I don't like this part. I don't like the way that I'm reacting. I don't like the way that I'm feeling. Then that's the dark side that you have to work through, that you have to learn to love in the same way that you love that beautiful positive side of yourself. I know it sounds really interesting, but when you are looking at all sides of you from a place of unconditional love from the heart, then you are now raising the vibration that you have for yourself, the energetic vibration of you, and really feeling how it feels like to be in your heart. And that is a challenge at this particular time. But that is the positive side of Mercury in retrograde and having a planet in retrograde. You do deal with your dark side, but it's how you deal with it that makes it that much that better for yourself. So we're going to go on to the next card here, and it is your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus. Your dreams need a practical plan. Now, if I look at this and I say that dreaming in general, at this time, there's two parts to the dreams that you could probably be looking at: the dreams that you have at night when you're sleeping, and also the dreams or goals that you have in your particular life. Now, in your life in particular. So the dreams that you have at night, if you haven't noticed them becoming more heightened, the frequency becoming more heightened, some things that you maybe wake up with a particular emotion or remembrance of the dream that you had, I'd be surprised, because this is also a time period where the dream cycles are very, very potent for a lot of people. So just keep in mind that those dreams mean something. And if you're able to write down anything that you remember in the morning, then it's great, because throughout some time period that you have these dreams, you write anything down as a dream journal, then you can see a story unfold. And it might also answer some questions that you might have within you for the future, or some things that might have happened in the past, or things that you can do. So, the other thing about the dreams is that this is a time of planning. This is a time where, um, when we're at a moment of eclipse, um, when we're also in a particular spot where Mercury is in retrograde, and there are planetary aspects that are actually working with that. I'm not an astrologer, so basically just reading some of the astrology or listening to some on YouTube, I found that this is a particular time period where trying to get your ducks in a row is a great time period. Doing some research before you continue on a project or a writing project, or things that you're working on at work, basically looking into the organizational structure of where you are. Even if you're in, if you're in a particular state where you're renovating, if you're renovating your home, or if you're renovating your life, you want to put some things in order in some kind of an organizational structure, and it's a perfect time for that. And that's actually what's coming up, which I think is kind of interesting. So the dreams need a practical plan. It means also the organization of how it's going to happen, step-by-step process, maybe even starting that beginning of the step-by-step process by the planning part of it, because planning is a great way. And planning means you've got all this beautiful energy, thought processes that go within your mind, but you want to get that down as well, so that it doesn't stay in your mind, that you have it down on paper or on your computer, and basically you have something to look back to, so that you don't have to have this thing just ruminating in your mind the whole time. That is what this is saying, because your dreams can be very much realized at this particular time to become reality. But what you need to do is have a plan in place and do some minor steps to see this plan in motion. Because what the universe likes to say is basically, okay, I have a plan. I have a project that I want to do. I want to get this out, for example. And in order to get it going, you kind of have to do a little bit of action. Now, at this time where Mercury is in retrograde, they're saying, kind of be very careful if you're going to sign anything legal, or you're having to make any big decisions. This is a time where you could take a big decision if you need to make it, and actually take step by steps, organize it a little bit, take a look, say this is the goal, and basically pick it apart little by little and say, okay, so how do I get this to occur by taking that big goal, putting it at the top, and coming up with little objectives, and just slightly, like, really being very realistic about how you plan things, and so that you're not biting off more than you can chew per objective, just saying it that way. So let's look at what it says about the full moon in Taurus, and see where the moon is taking us here. Sometimes you need to weave a bit of magic, and sometimes you need to be practical, and sometimes you need to find a combination of the two. This card suggests that this is where you are now. You need to use the laws of attraction to draw in what you want by imagining it, expecting it, and welcoming it. But you need to also balance that with taking down-to-earth steps towards your goals. So I'm saying breaking it down and also taking little by little, step by step. This isn't about wishing on the moon and hoping for the best. It's about making something like a list of bullet points about how to achieve your dreams. If you're asking about money, this card heralds a change of financial fortunes depending on both your past actions and what you're expecting and therefore attracting. Attuning to the moon, write down about 10 things that you know are wonderful about you. This is a great exercise to do at any time, actually, writing down things that you know about yourself that you like, and then scratch off the word like and put love after, because if you do it at the beginning, you're not going to write down, honestly, trust me, it's not going to work. Things that you like, things that you find wonderful about yourself, and then at the end, then cross it off and say love. It's a great exercise. Additional meanings for this card: laziness could explain your current situation. If so, change that and own it. This would be AKA procrastination. And I know that one well. Chasing money doesn't work. You need to chase a dream. More on that in a moment. Money, that is. Jealousy or envy creates negative energy and attracts negativity. So what you want to do is get rid of jealousy altogether. More exercise is called for. And it's perfect time in the Northern Hemisphere. We're starting to see some spring and summer times, although today is not one of those days. It's a little rainy and kind of cold. But anyways, this is a perfect time to start any exercise regimen you want. The teaching. The full moon in Taurus is a time to get back to earth, to get grounded, to work through any negative feelings you've been dealing with, and to find a balance between being passionate and being overly intense. Money issues may come to a head at the time of the full moon in Taurus, but you can take this card as a sign to pay more attention to your cash flow no matter when you draw it. So money, okay, so this particular time period, watch how you spend your money. It just seems to be something that's as a message too that my guides are giving me. Watch how you spend your money at this particular time, your cash flow. And the only reason why that is coming up is because we're trying to keep you in the present. For all intents and purposes, keeping yourself in the present is basically, or in the present is easier than having your mind wander to the future and getting stuck there. And some people get their mind into the past and they get stuck there too. So for example, if you were thinking in the past, oh my gosh, I just don't have enough money to go around. I'm having such trouble with things, and I have been in the past, and now I don't really know where the money's going to come from. So you're going into the future. It's like, well, is that going to help you any? Worrying? No. So why not stay in the present and basically look at where you are at the moment? If you stay in the moment, it means that you're okay. Most of us are sitting in a particular position where we are okay. I mean, are thinking about where we are rather than the financial, oh my God, what do I do later and whatever. If you are breathing, if you are in a good position, lying down, sitting down, I mean, actual physical position, and you are comfortable to a degree, or you can be comfortable, and you choose this moment to be happy, then you're okay. And that's being in the present. So I know it's kind of it's a long shot for some, but that's sometimes actually how things can go when it comes to cash flow coming in and so forth. This is not a time to make big decisions with the cash flow. And if you have to, read between the lines and all the small print, just to make sure before you make a decision upon it. Really think about it, write down the steps if you need to, and organize your thoughts, organize where you are. Budget might help a lot for where you are financially. So going on to the last card that we have today, we have your hard work is paying off. So new moon in Capricorn. So this is interesting. So whatever it is that you're doing and how you're organizing, everything that you're doing is going to pay off no matter what. And this is also, if we want to talk about relationships as well, something else to do, go back to the card prior to. If you are looking at finding that right relationship, I have an exercise for you, which might help as well. And it goes right in line with putting a bullet points and organizing your thoughts. If you want somebody in particular and don't know who that may be, in fact, it's better to kind of open up the neutrality. Even if you have somebody in mind that you really, really like, then putting things down on paper allows you to send that emotional energy that you have for that paper into the universe, telling the universe, this is exactly the type of person I want, and put them in bullet points. So spiritual, You can even say good looks, like features, if you want, whatever it is that you want for features. uh, uh, Respects me, is kind, is generous, is a gentle person, loves children, whatever the case is. Write it down in a step-by-step process, and that will help you within the relationship, and basically to find the right relationship. Trust me, I did that too, and I did find everything that was on that list. I did find in one person whom I'm still with. So your hard work is paying off. We're going to go into the new moon in Capricorn, and we're going to also look at the fact that this is also about the hard work that we have done as light workers, as um, in your spiritual self. So it can, of course, be in a material way, but this is also dealing with the spiritual part, the hard work that we have gotten to from the moment of our birth to now. And if you're seeing yourself in the mirror, you are a success. No matter who you are and no matter how old you are a success, because you've made it this far in this particular realm of existence where it is not easy. So as humanity goes, basically, you have made it this far. Give yourself a pat on the back and know that you have definitely worked hard to get where you are at this particular time. So first and foremost, this card suggests a new start for you professionally. Whatever has been going on in your working life, this card heralds the start of a new and improved work cycle. If you're unhappy in your current job, this is the time to either renegotiate your position or look for something new. Whatever your question, whether work related or otherwise, a new plan and strategy is called for. You need to take a look at the long term and think about where you want to be in 12 months or even 5 years' time. I'd say just look within the year, because everything and a lot can happen in 5 years. That will inform your best course of action now. And so think about seriously about that. Drawing this card suggests it's a time for you to be ambitious about whatever it is that you want to achieve. Attuning to the moon, making a proper plan, or make a proper plan and execute it well. Additional meanings for this card that may apply to someone. You need to be more disciplined to reach your goal. Hard work will make your dreams a reality. A very good omen for study or teaching. Don't be too controlling and avoid anyone who is controlling. The teaching, Capricorn is the sign of ambition, building, and hard work. The energy is solid and rigid. The new moon in Capricorn is a powerful lunation that comes towards the end of each year and marks arguably the best moment annually to make a list of your hopes, dreams, ambitions, and intentions for the year ahead. Pulling this card at any time suggests that with planning and discipline, you can achieve whatever you set your mind to. And this goes for anything and anybody. You can achieve whatever you put your mind to. It also means that you can achieve anything that you set foot on some action toward. So if you want a book to be written, if you want to be writing a book as an author, then you need to be writing every single day. That's just it. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be anything. It could be just writing, something that you like about yourself, basically. Writing a list down, write about something that you want for in the near future for someone. Give yourself a time limit, say 5-7 minutes, whatever it is, and just keep writing and just write and write and write, and don't even think about whatever it is that it comes to mind. Just write to your heart's content for that length of time. If you want to write a little further. It just means doing something toward what it is that you want. And that way, your dreams will be realized by the universe. This is also part of the law of attraction. Your dreams will be related to what it is that you want by the action you take towards it. And every little action that you have towards something will gain you a little bit more in that realm of possibility of it occurring. This is a great card for saying that whatever you do have as dreams will happen and will result in some material formation of it. So I hope that this helps a little, and I hope that you enjoyed the reading as well. I did, because I know that it really applies to me at this particular time, and I'm very happy that the cards came out the way that they did. So thank you for listening to me today, and I would love it if you liked this video, if you did, and please subscribe to the channel so that you can get some notification as to when I upload. And I'll be uploading more things. I've got some plans going on, and I'd really love to start uploading a little bit more so that you can have some more material to go through. So that is my plan, and I'm going to be taking my next steps toward it. See what I did there? Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.